I felt the need to give this message. So if you can, like always, it's free to share it. Share this message, tag somebody to it. There's somebody in the world, I promise you, that don't know this message exists or don't even know who I am, but they need this message. So please press share. If you press share, comment, share. I want to say thank you to everybody who supports. You know, I had some bad news, and this ain't the message, but one of the biggest rehabbers in the world, man, that's been supporting since day one, had passed away in a car accident last night, and her daughter inboxed me, and it's crazy. You know, she was just supporting, a few days ago, posted a video a few days ago, and it breaks my heart, man. And it probably inspired this message a lot. And so I want to go ahead and start and just tell you this, like, I know a lot of y'all know this, but I need you to really get it and understand it and feel it. Like, you don't have time, man. That's the biggest myth in the world. You don't have time. A lot of us think we have time. So a lot of us, what we do, since we think we have time, we waste our time. None of us know in this game of life when that clock is going to hit zero. Some of us have a lot of life left. Some of us, and I pray not, but you might not have too much life left. That person I was mentioning died in a car crash, right? It wasn't a sickness. It wasn't anything like that. It was a car crash. You know what I mean? And just like that, her life is done. And her life isn't done, right? Because we all know that we can still live on even when we move on. But I want y'all to understand that some of you are playing with your life. You think you have time. Some of you think that you have time with your kids, right? You're too busy for your kids. Some people, you think you have time with your friends, time with your mom, time with your parents. I went to visit my mom yesterday, and I realized, I thought I had 10 years, 15 years, 20 years left with my mom. But if I would have knew that 2021 would be the last year, I would have did a lot of things different. That's why I'm sharing this message to you, because some of you think you have time, and you don't. So stop going back. What I mean by that, stop going back to the things that don't serve you. Stop going back to the things that hurt you. And I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about those habits that do nothing for your life. I'm talking about that mindset that does nothing for your life. I'm talking about friends that do nothing for your life. I'm talking about that environment that does nothing for your life. Life is too short to live miserable. Too short not to get the most out of your life. Too short not to do the things that fulfill you, not to do the things that make you happy, not to do the things that give you peace, not to do the things that God has called you to do. Life is too short. And most people go through this life settling for less. Most people go through this life staying in their mess. Most people going through this life never being the greatest version of themselves. Most people go through their life suffering. Most people go through this life being used. When is it going to be enough? Because the truth is, and I know this hurts, but I told myself this today. So I'm not exempt neither. I told myself this today. I said, Trent, if you keep living like this, you're going to die like this. It don't mean my life is bad, but there's things in my life, especially my health, that I want to be better at. And I said, if I keep going like this, I'm going to die like this. And I want to tell you that if you keep accepting what you're accepting, whatever that is, whatever that means to you, you're going to die like that. And that's not a way to live life. There is more to your life than what you're selling for. There's more to your life than what you're choosing to tolerate. There's more to your life. And I want you to experience that more. Some of us, we keep going back to the same things, to the same places, to the same people, to the same habits that has left us drained, that has left us tired, that has left us miserable, that has left us feeling like we're nothing in this life. Why do you keep going back to the things that you know don't give you life, but take your life? Why do you keep going back to the things that you know, and I'm preaching to myself too, that you know that give you pain and don't give you peace? Why do you keep going back to the things in your life that you know don't help you become the healthiest version of yourself, but put sicknesses in your life? Why? And when we get to the point when we truly understand that selling for less can't be an option, when we truly get to the point where we understand that going back can't be an option, when we truly get to the point that we understand that only progression is what we need in our life. And I know this is This sounds like so simple and so common, but it's a reason why the majority of the world just goes through this life existing. It's the reason why the majority of this world gets to a point when they can't turn back the hands of time and they live in regret. When they didn't show the love when that person was here and they live in regret. When they didn't get the most out of their life, when it was time for them to get the most out of their life, and they live in regret. You don't have time, so I want to challenge everybody watching this. Take it to the next level, whatever it is in your life. Take your kindness to the next level. Take your support to the next level. Take your love to the next level. Some of you with kids, I get it. Your kids get on your nerves. They're 2 and 3 and 4 years old. You only get one chance to raise your kids. And people watching this that got teenagers, that got kids that are now adults, you know this. You wish you can turn back the hands of time. You wish. What happened to my daughter Maya last year? There was so much that went through my head. It was like, man, I'm gonna have so much regret if she leaves this earth. And it changed me. It changed me to make me realize what's important in my life. And some of us, we go through this life focused on the things that aren't important. They focus on the things that are small things to the big picture. You worrying about people not liking you. I'm more worried about you liking yourself and you loving yourself. You worried about people talking behind your back. I'm more worried about you speaking life into your life. See, when you realize those same people that you're worrying about, those same small things that you worry about, ain't going to be a part of your big picture anyway, you start to focus on the things that truly matter. What are the things that truly matter? Mind, body, and soul. Your health truly matters. Without health, it's very hard to live a productive life. I don't care what people say. I get it. Just love yourself, love yourself. If you love yourself, you're going to take care of your health. This is me talking to you. I haven't took care of my health within the last 6 months to a year because I've been battling depression. But I said enough is enough. I woke up, I looked in the mirror, and I said enough is enough. That's why Nature Shells is in full effect, because I refuse to go back to that person. I refuse to get this far to only come this far. I refuse to come this far to go back to where I came from. I refuse. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care who got a problem with it. I am moving forward with my life. I'm moving forward with my life. I'm not going back there. I'm not. I didn't work too damn hard to get where I'm at. I'm not going back there. And I refuse to allow my health be a hindrance of my life and my progression. I refuse to allow the relationships I keep in my life that aren't meant for my life to be a hindrance towards my progression. I refuse to allow my damn excuses to be a hindrance in my life towards my progression. I refuse it. And when you get to a point where you're refusing the things that don't help you, don't serve you, don't grow you, don't heal you, you have no choice but to better your life. People say, Trent, why do you always talk about stop doing this and you shouldn't have this? Because once you realize when you get the negative, toxic things at your life, it makes everything more clear for the things that you truly need in your life. But if we got pollution in our life, we got toxicity in our life, it don't matter if you got clean water in your life. If you still got toxic things in your life, right? It don't matter if you got great things in your life, if you still got toxic things in your life, because those toxic things will ruin the great things. That's why we have to filter. That's why we have to have a filter for our life. That's why we got to detoxify our life. Do a detox of not just our health, of not just our soul, of not just our circle, but our whole entire life. There is more for you. And I know this seems like some motivational stuff that you're just hearing, but it's true. And a lot of us, we choose suffering. We choose it. And you might say, Trent, I'm not choosing it. You're choosing it. You're choosing suffering because nothing can control your life without your permission. Nothing can stay in your life without your permission. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But nothing can continue to control you without your permission. If you're tired of being sick and tired, if you're tired of being overweight, underweight, if you're tired of having health problems, my question is, what are you doing every single day to better yourself? Sometimes we got to let go of those unhealthy eating habits, right? Speaking to myself, sometimes we got to let go of the laziness that we have and we got to move our body, right? What are we doing for our life to help ourselves? Because I tell you this, man, when you stand still, so everything else. When you stand still, so everything else. I know I talk about my mom a lot, but I'm always talking about my mother, man, because that's my heart. But once I see my mom in a hospice bed and couldn't move for months, I realized, man, when we stand still, that's when we start to die. When we don't move, that's when we start to die. That's why I'm out here in nature. I'm not just saying nature heals because I see a bird in the sky. I'm saying nature heals because it promotes life. It promotes movement. It promotes connection. And some of us, we're not moving towards anything, and we wonder why we're getting the results of a stagnant life, because you're staying stagnant. Stagnation doesn't lead to progression. Stagnation doesn't lead to elevation. Some of us are stagnant in our relationships, and we're expecting a better relationship. Some of us are, oh man, I'm going in. I know this is too real for some people, but it's all good. Some of us is stagnant in our health, and we're expecting to have better health. Some of us is stagnant in our dreams, and we're expecting to live the life of greatness. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. So I need you to get focused on what God wants you to do. I need you to get focused on what you are called to do. And I need you to get focused on understanding that the time is ticking in your life, man. And not just your life, but the people around you. You ain't going to have those friends in your life forever. You ain't going to have those kids, or they ain't going to have you forever. You ain't going to have that job maybe forever. You ain't going to have your health at a certain age forever. It's time for you to get the most out of it, man. It's time for you to love more, support more, give more, help more, and be more. Why? Why? Because it's available to you. It's available to you. Just like complaints is available to you, doing something about it's doing something about it's available to you. Just like selling for less is available to you, doing more for your life is available to you. Just like staying in the same stuff that stinks, that's spoiled, that's overdue, that's dead, just like that's available to you. Guess what? New life, new beginnings, new levels is available to you. Which one you gonna choose? And I know some of you, I might look at the comments, but I know some of you like, Trent, you don't understand. Trent, it ain't that easy. I know it's not, but you know what's hard? It's staying in the same place for years, man. Complaining about the same things for years, accepting the same stuff for years, and expecting change. I said this in 2009 when I first started this. Stop complaining about the things you aren't willing to change. And that's what happened to me today. I got up and I said, man, my body hurt, man. I'm not feeling well. I said, shut up, Trent. Stop complaining about things you aren't willing to change. And I got my butt out here to nature, and I'm dying out here. It's tough, but I'm progressing through it. Because I know, and I'm going to leave off of this because I got to finish. I know, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem, I refuse to stay in a known pain. I refuse to stay in a known pain and not push myself to an unknown peace. I would rather take that journey of the unknown that leads to peace than stay in a place that I know leads to pain. And I understand that it's going to be hard, but I told myself today, and I want to tell you this, when you make a choice, when you start a new beginning, guess what? Today, I will never be the same. I'm going to grow next time I'm out here. This version of me, I will never see again. We got to stop going back to the old version of ourselves. We got to stop going back to the old mindset of ourselves. We got to stop going back to that person that we know is not good, that we know we grew from. But some of us, we live this life as a merry-go-round. We grow and we go back to the same person. We grow, we come back to the same person. We grow, we go back to the same person. And we live in this revolving door. It has to get to a point where that revolving door stops. And it's a one-way. I'm progressing. I'm not going back. So I told myself today, how you feel today, you might feel tired next time you come out here, but you ain't going to feel this tired because this version of you is dead. This version of you today is dead. You're going to grow from this, and you'll never see this version of you again unless you choose to see it, Trent. Unless you choose to see it, Trent. You'll never see this version of you again unless you choose to come back and see this version. And that's on me. Fall in love with progression because this life isn't promised. When I got that message at 3 a.m. from that lady's daughter, it broke my heart. Because I realized that this life is so short, and most of us, including myself, we take it for granted. We take our family for granted. We take our jobs for granted. We take our blessings for granted. We take our health for granted because we think we got it because we had it all our life. Don't let it take losing it to make you appreciate it. Because if you get to that point where you lose it and then you appreciate it, you're going to live in regret. And regret is poison to the soul. And so many of us, we living in regret right now. And the only way you get over your regret is that you use that as fuel to build you. You use that as fuel to make you appreciate life some more. You use that. If you lost somebody in your life that was a loved one and you're like, dang, I wish I could. You use that to love the ones that you have in your life that are living even more. Even more. Because this is your life. Your life. I don't know if anybody feel me or hear me. I feel like sometimes I'll just be talking You know what I mean? But it's on my heart. I done my part today. Honestly, I'm talking to myself too today as I'm talking to you. So I'm looking right in the camera at myself because I refuse to see this version of Trent. I'm tired of going back. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of going back. I'm tired of having to lose weight and gain weight again. Or gain weight and lose weight again. I'm tired of having to back. I'm tired of it. When you gonna be tired of it? Because honestly, a lot of us say we tired of it, but when you sick and tired of being sick and tired, you bury that version of yourself. You bury those things and you don't dig those things back up. Some things need to stay dead to you, y'all. Some things need to stay dead. Stop giving CPR to bad habits. Stop giving CPR to bad people. Stop giving CPR to bad environments and bad lifestyles. I get it. You might miss it at times, but what did that do for your life when you were there? Some of us, we're so busy digging up old seeds that we use our energy to dig up those seeds and prevents us from building and planting new seeds in our life that promotes new growth, that promotes new life. Right? And I know you feel this in your heart. I know you feel it. But you got to do something about it. Get out in nature. If you can't do that, man, go walk around the block. It starts there. It starts with doing some people ask, Trent, how do I change my life? I'm not a life changer. I can just tell you this. Focus on one thing you can control. Because some of us, we waiting on apologies. We waiting on closure. We waiting on just waiting. Nah, focus on something you can control. What's something that you can better today? What's something that you can better today? If it's praying to God today, do it. You can control that. If it's ending something that you need to end, do it. You can control that. If it's starting something you need to start today, do it. You can control that. You can't control a lot of things externally, but there's a lot of things that are in your control that you ain't taking control of. There's a lot of things, man. And this the part right here. Quote this, tweet this, share this. There's a lot of things that are in your control that you ain't taking control of. And there's a lot of things that you can't control that you're allowing to control you. I'm going to say this again. There's a lot of things that's in your control that you ain't taking control of. And there's a lot of things that are out of your control that you're allowing to control you. Last time, there's a lot of things that's in your control that you ain't taking control of. And there's a lot of things that are out of your control that you're allowing to control you. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. That is that's the recipe to inner peace, y'all. And inner peace is a new success. I want you to experience peace in your life. I want you to experience peace in your life. I want you to experience fulfillment in your life. You know, I talked to a school yesterday, a school of high school kids, and these high school kids were breaking down. I want to just say this too while I'm on here, man. We talking about a lost generation. This generation really ain't lost, and I'll tell you why. The reason why they are lost because they have nobody to show them the way. We have no guides, no mentors to show them the way. So they're just figuring out this life on their own. We got parents and leaders, no leaders, right? No teachers that are actually showing them the way because a lot of our generation is lost themselves. We have a lost generation raising a lost generation. And these kids, all they wanted to do was be heard, be seen, be believed in. These kids, 9th grade, poured out their heart to me. And they said, Trent, I never had nobody tell me that I could do it. I never had nobody even listen to me like that. I never had anybody take the time to be able to understand what I was dealing with. What I was dealing with. And that broke my heart, man. You see, I don't do this for no external validation reason. I don't do this for significance. I don't do this to make people, oh, look at Trent Shelton. Nah, man. I do this because I really want to help people, because I know how it feels to be depressed. I know how it feels to be down, but I know how it feels to bounce back up. I know how it feels to get through what you're going through. And these kids need us, man. These kids are battling things more than ever, especially since COVID. These kids need us. That's why it's important that y'all, myself, get right. Because if we ain't right, how can we raise these kids? How can we help these kids? How can we mentor these kids? And I ain't talking about perfection. I shared all my struggles with those kids, and they appreciated that because they're like, man, everybody talks to us like they perfect, but you talk to us like you real. I said, I am. Ain't nothing perfect about me, but I'm real. And real don't mean perfect. Real just means honest. As much as I can be, as hard as I can be, I try to be the best version of myself, man. And me being able to talk to these kids, man, it made me realize that we living in a time where they need help, period. They need help, man. Seeing the look on their faces, they need help. And we failing them. We failing them for real. We complain about this generation. Who do you think the teachers are? It's us. It's us. So I do those things, man, not for pats on the back and congratulations and, oh my gosh, you give back. I do those things because I understand, man, if we really want to help this future, we got to speak into the future. I know these kids are going to be leaders of my kids. So I want to help them be the best they can be. So when my kids grow, maybe one of those people can be a person my kid can look up to and be inspired by. You know what I mean? We all got to do our part. It ain't got to be a big part, but I challenge y'all as I leave here, man. I know it's a lot of messages and stuff like that today. I know we talked about a lot, but I challenge every one of you that's watching this. This month, I want you to reach out to a teenager, to somebody that's a youth, and I want you to speak life into their life. I want you to share about you and what you deal with and how you get through it. That's what I want you to do. Find a kid and grab them by their arms and sit them down and just talk to them. And even if you don't talk to them, just listen to them. Listen what they're going through, what they're dealing with. Because I'm going to tell you this. You think our generation had it bad? Theirs is 10 times worse. 10 times worse. The access that they have to their life through these apps and social media is crazy. It's crazy. And I know how much I get it. But I know I have a process to handle these things and they don't. So we need that. And it's crazy because we live in such a selfish world, man, that a lot of people don't even care about that. A lot of people just care about themselves and they want to help themselves. But the best way you can help yourself, let me tell you this, man, is to help others. That's the best way you can help yourself is to help others. The best way to learn something is to teach somebody. So what I talked about today, the best way for that to be real in your life and implement is not just for you to experience it yourself, but for you to teach somebody about your experience and how you grew. That's what we need in this world. Because it sucks when children out here don't have parents that believe in them. They have parents that are lost themselves, that talk down on them, that cuss them out. I'm blessed to have a mom and a dad that always believed in me, that gave me the tools to build my future. But these kids, y'all expect them to build a great future with broken tools. Some of us putting pressure on all these teachers. These teachers can't even handle it. I talk to the teachers too. These teachers can't even handle it because most parents don't allow the teacher to teach. You want them to raise your kid, but as soon as they hold your kid accountable, you go to the school and you cuss them out. But then as soon as they don't do anything for the kid, you ask the teacher why they ain't do nothing. That's the world that we live in. We put so much responsibility for things that should be our responsibility. My teachers of my kids, they ain't got to raise my kids. They're going to help my kids, but they ain't responsible for my kids. I'm responsible for my kids. My wife is responsible for my kids. And that's the problem, man. That's one of the problems we have in this generation. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Right? We failed these kids. That's what we've done. We failed them. We failed them because we ain't taking care of the things that we need to take care of. You see, while I'm out here, it's not just about me. Of course, I want to be the best me, but I want to be the best me for those that need me to be. I want to be an example for my children. I want to be an example for the kids that I coach, the kids that I mentor, the schools that I go to. I want to be that example where they look at me and they see somebody like me. You know what's crazy too? I'm going to share this too. Forget it. We out here, right? We all the way open. We outside. We all the way open. I'm going to share this too. And some people might not like this, but it's the truth. I share this because I'm a black man, right? As y'all see, I'm a black man. I'm going to tell you something. It's crazy because a lot of these kids that I spoke to, right, not really inner city kids, but kind of inner city kids, like in the middle. I spoke to them and I asked them, I said, man, like what y'all want to be? What's something that you think you can be? And I'm not just saying this just for black kids, right? White kids, inner city, period. Because I'm not talking about racism, right? I'm talking about classism. I'm talking about that, right? There were black, white kids, brown kids, right? All different races and cultures. But I asked the kids, I said, hey, what do y'all want to be when y'all grow up? I want to be a rapper. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be a ball player, right? That was 98% of the answers. Because I'm going to tell you why. In this culture, we convince these kids that that's all you can be. That's it. That's all you can be to be successful. So you know what I did? I said, well, how many of y'all want to be an author? Nobody raised their hand. Nobody raised, not one kid out of about 500 raised their hand to say, I want to be an author. Not one. Not one. And I said, man, let me tell you this. I said, what if they paid you a lot of money? $500,000, you can reach millions of people, whatever it may be, $1 million to be an author. They all raise their hand, right? They all raise their hand because obviously they're attracted to that. I said, what about a speaker? How many of y'all want to be a speaker? Nobody raised their hand. I said, well, what if I told you can travel the world, man? We can travel the world. And they looked at me. And a lot of them came to me after and said, Trent, you know what? I never thought I would want to be something outside of what we told that's the only thing we can be. I never thought I would want to be a speaker, a writer, a best-selling author. I never thought till I saw you. Because I never seen somebody who looked like you that's doing it like you. I never seen somebody with tattoos and just, not really professional like this world tells you have to be successful. They saw an example in me. I wasn't just telling you can be a football player, even though I was that NFL player. Sure, you can be if you want to, but there's more to that. You can be a creator. I said, man, how many of y'all would want to be a creator? We create your own videos and inspire people through that. Nobody raised their hand. And so I said, well, you know what? I've done it. I'm a producer. Maybe not in Hollywood's eyes, but I'm a producer of content. I'm a creator. I'm an artist. And they realized in that moment that they could be more. We need more examples of just what this world tries to box us in with. That's why in this industry, I'm going to be honest with you. That's why in this industry, when I started, I said, I will never change who I am. Some people say, Trent, you should be more professional, whatever. I would never change who I am because you know why? I need kids that look like me or from the same city as me, even if they don't look like me. I need people to be able to believe and see something in me that said, man, I can do that too. I just don't want people to be a football player, a basketball player, a baseball player. There's more to that. If you're that, cool too. Use your platform, but that's something I've been fighting for since 2009. When companies wouldn't let me in because I wasn't professional enough, I made it to the point where they had to let me in because I kept applying pressure. And I made it acceptable for people in this space to be who you are and still be able to speak at companies, still be able to write books. In 2009, you had to be this professional suit and tie person until I broke down that wall. Because I want to make sure that the next generation knew that they were enough. You don't have to change who you are in a negative way to fit in or to be somebody that this world wants you to be. And I say that not to put light on myself, but to put light on you because some of you have gifts and talents that these kids and the world needs to see. They need to see the example in you. They need to see the example in you. But some of you, you know what I mean? You just accepting less in your life. Some of you allowed opinions to talk you out of your greatness. Some of you traded in who you were created to be to fit in because you feel like, oh, I got to fit in because if I don't fit in, they ain't going to accept me. When literally, when you fit in and you don't be who you truly are, there's a person. I'm going to use this analogy and I'm off of here. Just imagine this path, right? This path is who I truly am. This path is who I truly am. They got another path. That path is me fitting in. I'm at a crossroads. I have a choice to take who I truly am, this path, or take the path of fitting in. If I took the path of fitting in, I would have never met the people on the path that was meant to benefit from my life. You see, this path is a path of who you truly are. And on this path, it's everybody who was meant to run into you, to be inspired by you. But they never met you on the path because you never took that path because you wanted to fit in. Because you wanted to be what the world wanted you to be. Because you wanted to be what opinions told you that you had to be. And I'm not trying to tell you to be a rebel. I'm trying to tell you to be yourself and who God created you to be. See, by me taking this path, I was able to meet you. I was able to hopefully inspire you, impact you, help you. Because I took this path. But if I would have took that other path, me and you, we would have never met. And you would have never got what you needed from me. So as I leave here today, take the path, man, that's meant for your life. And that path won't be perfect. That path might be hard. But I do know this about imperfect paths. They still hold the perfect purpose for your life. They still lead to beautiful destinations. I believe that. I believe that. And I know this message was tough. I know some of you might have got off, didn't like it, didn't accept it, but it's all truth. I'm not here to coddle you. I'm not here to make you feel good about staying in a place that is making you feel terrible. I had too many people in my life commit suicide because of that. Learn my story and you understand why I'm so passionate about why I fight for what I fight for, what I stand for, what I stand for. Go do a little bit of research and you'll realize that I lost too many people because they allow people to place those limitations on their life. And that ain't right. And I refuse to go through this life like that. Christine said, I need to take this path. You do. You do. And this path don't make you famous. This path don't mean you got a lot of money. This path don't mean none of that. This path means your life is being used for what it was created to be. You know, some of us, we think we need all these things, but I'm going to tell you right now, all these things, man, make life more difficult. You know what I mean? And the more you live free, mind, body, and soul, the more I believe that you're able to live financially free. You know? But I'm more concerned about you being holistically free. I want you to be blessed all around. And blessings don't always mean money. Don't always mean fame. Blessings mean that you have life and you appreciate your life. I want you to have time freedom. That's what I want most for you. I want you to have inner peace. Because everything without peace means nothing. And nothing with peace means everything. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm now stiff. I gotta go run 2 miles back. Y'all done got me my dang leg shaking over here because I ain't gonna lie. Nature shells, man. I'm nature shells right now, but I gotta get back in shape. You know what I mean? So you guys gonna see me out here a lot more videos on the trails, but I gotta, man, I didn't sit down too long talking to y'all, but it's been all worth it. All right. So have a beautiful weekend. Give your soul the attention that it needs. Share this if you can. Like again, I don't say share this because it makes me better. Share this because there's somebody that needs this and it's free. A lot of you ask, Trent, how can I help you support? Just share it, man. Share it to somebody. Don't fall for the fake profiles, y'all. Like, we should know this by now. I ain't giving out no money, no $10,000. Like, y'all, don't fall for these fake profiles out here. Like, we got to use common sense. Ain't nobody giving out stuff like that, okay? Ain't nobody giving out. Stop giving away your credit card information. Stop falling for these scams. And just putting to work, all right? Ain't nobody giving handouts like that. So if you got to question it, it ain't real. I'm just being honest. You got to say, is this Trent hitting me up about, you won a trip to Africa? No, it's not me. It's not me. So stop falling for that. Man, it was not by accident, by divine appointment. Let me get into this right. Let me just see a few comments, y'all, Robert, I want to see everybody win. I tell someone to listen to you. Man, tell everybody listen to me, not just women. Like I want to be clear about that. I'm not like the women speaker. I love everybody, but men need to be listening to me. Kids, my message is for everybody, right? I'm not a relationship coach. Like, I'm not that person or people. Like, don't put me in that category. I am a person that speaks to everybody. All right, everybody. So when my message talk about like not selling for less, I'm talking to everybody, right? Selling for less could mean you selling for less in your health. So spread my message to everybody. Women, kids, dogs, cats, everybody. You know what's crazy? I'm gonna share this message when I get off here. So I went to speak to the kids yesterday at the school. 2 things happened. This is crazy. And I didn't even realize it because I'd be so locked in. Number one, as I was speaking, y'all gonna think I'm lying. I'm so serious. Like, on my mom, I don't like to say on my mom, but on my mom, I'm so serious. Like, a woman went into labor, a teacher went into labor while I was speaking, and I didn't even recognize it. Like, that's how I'll be so locked in. Like, I don't even she went into labor, and then another kid, a student passed out. Like, not from no, like, hydration, like, she passed out. And I was like, and so my team came to me after and was like, Trent, did you know, like, somebody passed out? And I was like, nah. It's like, she was right by you. And I was like, I didn't even recognize. And then she's like, did you see somebody going to labor? And I was like, no. I thought they were joking. I thought it was April Fool's joke, for real. But it was so serious. And so I'm like, dang, that's crazy, man. But I thought it was just they're okay, right? She passed out, she's okay. But it was just a cool moment to be like, that's crazy. And how locked in I am on my message. Like, I don't know, man. I don't want to call that a distraction, but I'd be so locked in that I don't be paying attention to a lot of things except delivering the message. So, like, that was super funny, scary, crazy at the same time. Like, man, it's like the message was that hard that somebody went into labor. But all right, y'all, I got to finish this hike, man. Love y'all. Let's get it. Hey, Tina, I'm just seeing your message, Tina. Please bother, okay? I know you said, why even bother? Please bother, because you got to, you know what I mean? Or how you feel is going to stay how you feel, Tina. Don't let the enemy defeat you, right? The enemy wants you to think that, right? Why bother? The enemy attacks the mind. Oh, it's nothing more for my life. My life is over. Those things, and we just think that, and we stay in the same place. I always say the enemy attacks the biggest threats. So if you feel attacked all the time here, it's probably because you got something worth giving to the world, Tina. All right?